All right, so that guy parked directly in front of me. The one, let me see, the one in that gray car. There was no truck there, but all of a sudden these two start talking when I leave. Now I was parked directly in front of him. I just parked there. There was nobody there, so I approached him. I asked him a question. Excuse me, sir, is there a reason why you parked directly in front of me when I'm just here? You know, there's a reason why I picked this spot. So I just wanted to be on my own. And then he immediately starts giving me an attitude and acting stupid. Now, in the back of his license plate, it says, "In God we trust." But the dude, the way he talks, the way he acts, nah, bro, that's the devil. So immediately I pull off, you know. I asked him a question. It was like, you know, you guys tend to have the same excuses every time I approach you guys. He said he was door dashing. I don't believe him because he got right in front of me. And he's not the only one. These people follow me everywhere. Demons in possession. So this guy comes out and now they're parked right next to each other. If you notice, his window's completely open right next to this car, and that car's not fully in the parking spot. I can see it from here with the camera, so that's not an accident, and you can see him. Anyways, you know, all I did was ask him a question and he gave me an attitude about it. I'm not accusing you of anything. I'm asking you a question. Is there a reason why you parked right where you parked? And he said, "I'm door dashing." I'm like, "No, you're not door dashing. You don't need to park directly in front of a guy that just got here if all you're doing is door dashing." And look, now they're moving. See, there was somebody in that car. He's moving right now. It's exactly what I'm talking about. See that? There was somebody in the car. You might not be able to get a clear thing, but this ain't an accident. Yeah, you didn't know I was videotaping you. Now you do. Now you know. Right there. There you go. Trying to say I'm the psycho, but look at it, look at him. Yes, I'm gonna keep video. Think this was an accident? That is not an accident, dude. That's an attack and a half. Look at him go back. I was literally not there, but 2 minutes. 2 minutes. 3 minutes, and this guy parked right in front of me. So the only thing I can think of is they were trying to provoke me. That's the only thing I can think of. But I'm not stupid. Which is why they're getting videotaped. And I'm not gonna let this down either, because now they're acting dumb. Just like, I'm not gonna go pull my car all the way over there because I just got here. The time is 2:45 p.m. The date is Sunday, July 26th. Now I know there's a lot of Satanists, a lot of evil people out here doing whatever they doing, trying to accuse people of doing things that they're not doing. That's not an accident. Now he said, this guy over here said he was door dashing. How is this guy door dashing with him? Because it looks like he's door dashing. They look like they door dashing together. I'm being sarcastic, by the way. They're definitely not door dashing together. But whatever they're conversating about, it has nothing to do with DoorDash and has everything to do with invasion of privacy of life. And mind you, let me tell you, after what just happened to me when I was at the airport and everything that I noticed that was going on, that my father did not notice was going on, I was like, yeah, I'm not getting on this plane. I don't care what he says or what anybody says, because nobody's listening to me anyways. I don't care if they believe me or not. Mind you, as soon as I go down to the train at the airport, the train just so happens to have a power outage. Well, I go up the stairs and I notice a guy sitting directly over the train on his phone on a weird app that seemed to be a power distribution kind of controlling app that very specific people have. And I don't mean good people. I mean evil people. All I was doing was reading my Bible. To prove that, check this out. Look at what I have in my lap. Look what I got in my lap. I literally sat there. I just started reading what 8 right here, and that's it. There you go. This is why I'm keeping the recording at the ready, because look, that guy went. There's a reason why I recorded him going all the way around me. Now these guys, they're not an accident. They follow me on the highways. They communicate to each other, random people. I try to go buy something at the store, and it seems like they're all waiting for me at a perfect spot or position. And I know what it is. It's because of what's in my body now that I got from a girl, a so-called woman of Christ. She was not a woman of God. She was a woman of the devil. And just like they're lying, creating stories, so was she lying, even though I asked her very specific questions. But notice I'm pointing the finger at these 2 dudes. I'm not looking at anybody else. There's probably more than just them. But at the moment, I'm only looking at them 2. Look at that. There's God right there. Where's that bird? Where'd that bird go? I don't know what that meant. I'm not going to get into that. Find it interesting. I could only zoom to 6x6 magnification. But they're still there. Now he turned off his free lights. Again, this guy's excuse over here said that he was door dashing. Where did this other fool come from? If the moment I walked up to him, I pulled off after he just got done trying to give me an attitude. They're both white dudes. They both they don't look like Christians at all. They look like the enemy, Satan. And they usually come with tatted up like crazy. They come sounding gay. That dude sounds gay, by the way. So 100% like he's got something up his butt and he gets it regularly. But and then usually with nose rings or random jewelry that is just not something a clean person would wear. Look, we're sitting at 7 minutes here, man. They're still right next to each other. And there's a reason why I'm not turning on my car to go near them. I don't have to. This alone proves who they are. Got another car behind me acting slow. Going straight into my blind spot. Oh, never mind, I was wrong. But they were driving slow, which is enough for me. Well, there he is. I was waiting for him to pull out. I'm not stupid, dude. I'll keep recording you, too. And if you call the cops, I'll just show them the evidence. And if the cops happen to be on your side, bro, I already know what it is. I'm not stupid. You think I'm stupid. I'm not taking my eyes off you, dude. You acted weird and stupid. I'm not taking my eyes off you. Now there's the cop. That's what I thought. See what I mean? This is what usually happens. There you go. Damn, how many cops they brought to this picnic? Now look, I didn't even call the cops. Can I help you?
Hey, I'm Officer Hillside Police Department.
How you doing, sir? Can I help you?
Not bad. Yeah, the gentleman over here said that you approached him and told me he had to leave.
No, I never said he had to leave. That's a lie and a half. So what else did he say? Before I go ahead and tell you the truth.
Well, I'd like to know what you said. You know, I don't have to tell you what somebody.
Well, as you can see, I'm sitting here doing nothing wrong.
I didn't say you were doing anything.
So and as you can see, there's 2 trucks over there.
Yeah, they're not illegally parked.
Yeah, and am I illegally parked then?
I didn't say you were.
Okay, so does he have any physical harm on him?
Did I say that?
Am I harassing him?
Right now, me and you were just having a normal conversation.
Yes, so then there's no reason for you to even ask me anything at this point. Because if I'm doing literally nothing illegal, and you can see, I got my Bible right here. Right here.
Yeah, so what typically happens, like if somebody calls us and they're like, hey, this incident occurred and the person is still here, like we try to talk to people and see what happened and make sure. And I told him the exact same thing. I was like, hey, if the guy did interact with you.
Why does he keep hiding from my camera?
He's not hiding.
Yeah.
He's standing there. So I told him that, you know, he said it was you specifically. And I told him that from what he alleged, that you hadn't committed any crime. And that I would be more than happy to try to talk to you if you would be willing to do that, which... You know,
well, for the incident that happened, he had no reason to call the cops.
Well, and it's his right to do that, just like...
Yeah, well,
like,
then
he alleged you said things...
I know what that is, but what he's doing is called harassment. What I did was approach a person, like if somebody's right next to your house. Let's say you're a cop, right?
Yeah.
So you know what a cop does. You live at a home, some random person you don't even know parks in front of your house. Now that's not public, that's a public road, but he parks in front of your house somewhere. Maybe it's off on the corner, but your house is like right here. You're a cop, so you're gonna have every reason to go approach that man or that woman or whoever's in that car that's never parked there and approach him and talk to them, right? You're gonna have every reason because you're a cop.
And this might be a silly question. Have you ever met this guy?
No, I don't know that guy from a hole in the wall. But you see how I'm parked right here?
Yeah.
You see how you guys are kind of parked directly right there? Well, imagine my car was facing there. There was nobody there.
Yeah.
And he randomly parked right in front of me, not 2 or 3 minutes after I was sitting there.
Where would you say he would, like point in the general direction of where he was parked at?
Oh, well, if you're at that second car right there,
Like where the
you got,
is or where the other
no, your police cars.
Okay.
That second car right there. If
Yeah.
you were to put it in the front parking spot, and I had a parking spot right here facing there, there was nobody there. And of all the parking spots here, because I'm ex-military and I've had weird shit happen, I keep recording it now because it's getting stupid at this point, right? And they're a collective.
Hey, it's your right to do that.
Well, it's not just my right. We know if you're smart and you understand what's going on with this country, there's a whole bunch of people posing as human beings when they're demons or Satan worshipers who are essentially trying to kill our children. I'm not stupid. I preach the truth. So anyways, with that said, he goes ahead and he pulls up in front of me. And I'm like sitting here. I just got done reading. Pulls out a cigarette, starts looking down with his hat. I'm like, why is he parked directly in front? I'm looking around. I'm like, there's no reason for him to park in front of me. Like I said, if you're a cop, if you got somebody parked in front of your yard, directly in front of your yard, when you have all kinds of different parking spots they could have gone to, why did they park in front of your yard?
Yeah,
because you're a cop, you got enemies.
Just because I want to clarify, like, other than like him parking in front of you incident, like.
Oh, I'm not. You wanted to know the story, so I'm telling you the full story. So then I look up. I'm like, should I ask him? Should I not ask him? This is my thought structure. I'm like, there's no reason for him to be parked there. Because if I were him, I wouldn't have parked directly in front of another car with a person that's in the car. Wouldn't have done that. So I'm like, you know what? I know people. I could sit here and assume whatever. I'm not going to do that. Turned on my car, pulled up right next to him, and I asked him, sir, is there a reason why of all the places out here you picked this spot to park in? And he proceeds to tell me, do you own the parking lot? I'm like, no, I'm not saying that. What I'm asking, and he's doing it with an attitude, I'm asking him with a calm demeanor. And I asked him, I was like, I'm just asking why this spot directly in front of my car of all the places. Then he proceeds to say all this other stuff that I didn't even listen to, because all it was nonsense and attitude, which is what people normally do when they have that kind of a voice and tone and give you those types of tones or whatever. So then finally I was like, all right, cool, whatever. I'm not accusing you of anything. And he said whatever. I wasn't listening to him at that point because I just don't care. I'm like, I know I'm not going to accuse him. I know I'm not going to get angry. I'm not going to get upset. I asked him a simple question and he gave me all these different answers, including DoorDash. If you're DoorDashing, why park in front of another man? I've seen people DoorDash. I know people that have DoorDash. They never, out of common courtesy, don't put themselves in front of another person who's living out of the vehicle, because there's enough unsafe crap going out here. And it's pretty clear I live out of my vehicle. I have every reason, like I said, if you were in your home, you'd have every reason to start looking around, because that stuff is called hunting. And people have already been called out for that. Truckers are doing it in Tennessee and state police are doing it in Tennessee. And it's a big thing at this point. I'm not stupid. I'm going to watch out for people like that because there's a lot of evil people out there.
I want you to be careful. I want you to be mindful.
So then, with that said, I come all the way around. I come back here, and I was going to park facing that direction, but then something told me to just turn around. I say something, it's got to be Jesus Christ, because that's what when you have the Holy Spirit in you, you have the Holy Ghost in you, it tells you, lets you know. Came back around, I parked right here, and that's when I noticed the black truck pull up, and he's right next to him talking to him, and I'm like, huh. Anyways, I'm like, huh, that's kind of weird. There was just him a second ago. Now he has not even 10, 15 seconds it took me to get over here, because all I did was go over here, pull up there, go around and park over here. I parked at a distance because I'm not going to park next to somebody. As you can see, I was here alone, right? That's how I park. He did the opposite. Of all these other parking spots, he chose the one directly in front of me. That's not normal. Okay, that's creepy. That's what creepers do. That's what evil people do when they want to monitor you. That's what they do. When they want to pretend like they're just hanging out in the car. And they'll be there all day. And I've seen them. I've been recording them lately. Nonstop. I used to never do it. But now I'm doing it. Because immediately after I approach those people or do something about it, you guys just happen to be there. Not 15, 20 seconds later. That's not an accident.
So you guys, I guess, us.
Police officers. All kinds of police officers. Yes.
Well,
I
came from downtown.
Well, and that's, again, and that's one thing I told him. I was like, you guys all sound like you're doing the same excuse. You're either door dashing or doing something. You all have the same exact type of excuse. And the officers tend to have the same type of excuse too. I came from here or I came from there. I'm like, okay, fine. I'll leave it at that. But when I have random stuff happen to me where it's harassment towards me, and I know it's harassment towards me because that black car wasn't there, what you don't know is before you guys got here, that car was not there. That black one was not there. That black truck was not there. Now, from here, you can tell.
I want to be clear about this. So, like, before today, you've never met that man before?
No, I just came off the freeway.
You guys have had, like, there was no...
Yep, I don't know that guy from a hole in the wall. Now, if he claims otherwise, I don't know him.
Yeah.
Because I can tell you right now, I don't know him.
Typically harassment is a pretty specific statute in Virginia. And, like, you guys...
Well, harassment goes beyond that. That's why I say there are groups right now that are specifically targeting people's homes. That, yeah, just because you're a different person, but I don't know y'all. I don't know if behind closed doors you're affiliated with people that are doing evil things. I don't know that.
As of now, is there anything we can do for you? Do you need anything from us?
No, I don't need anything. I wasn't the one that called you guys. That's why I pulled off over here. But at the end of the day, to make the statement completely clear, that pickup truck, that black pickup truck, like I said, 10, 15 seconds, that guy pulls up right next to him, and now they're having a full-blown conversation. That's not an accident. Not only was that not an accident, he comes out of nowhere, and he pulls around, and I videotaped the whole thing. He comes all the way around, then goes back to that guy, sits next to him, and then you guys get called by him? That's not normal. That's something evil people do. Yeah, it's not unheard of because we're living in a world where your random Joe Schmo over there that wants to get away with doing whatever he's doing that nobody knows about calls the cops and tries to get the innocent person in trouble. I've worked in correctionals. Do you know how many people went in there that were on false charges? Tennessee, just the whole state, even by another officer that quit the thing, just got done not too long ago, about a year ago, exposing the state troopers for falsely accusing people of being drunk. That's the world we're living in. So I can't look at you. I can't even look at them as that's average. Even by law, I can't do that because right now there's a lot of people breaking the law.
By law, no crime has occurred at this time. And if you don't need anything else from us, he doesn't need anything else from us. We're going to go ahead and get out of here, okay?
Okay, no problem. Y'all have a good day. God bless y'all in Jesus Christ's name.